Good morning, Jack. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Ben. How are you?
Good. So you have an event coming up. You know, it's something I talk about a lot. I just said it that I like where conservatives and right-minded people are going. They're starting to get vocal and say, wait a minute, we're not just going to be quiet and let things happen anymore. And you have an event coming up that I thought was really important to let people know about, and that's the Honor Your Oath rally. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I do. And thanks for the opportunity, Ben. It's named the Honor Your Oath rally because really and truly, people who are elected officials or, our local policemen, our sheriffs, military, they all take an oath. They all take an oath of office upon entering their service, whatever it is. And in all cases, that oath is certainly to uphold the Constitution. My position and the position of, I think, everybody now is if you can't honor that oath, if you violate that oath in any way, you ought not to be there. You certainly don't have the integrity to be there. Our Second Amendment rights right now are being violated all over the planet. We can see what's going on in Washington. A lot of the states, and all of these, by the way, and I have to say this, I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. That doesn't matter to me anymore when it comes to this stuff. And what we're seeing, though, nationally is this legislation, such as New Jersey, New York, or when you get out into Colorado, D.C., others, it's all Democrats that are starting this legislation. It's the same thing here in the state of New Hampshire. As far as I'm concerned, if you submit legislation that restricts our right to keep and bear arms, and by the way, the Second Amendment is clear, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. There's no ambiguity in that phrase. Then, as far as I'm concerned, you violated your oath. And you shouldn't be there, and you should be removed, and we should have a process to do that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. One of the things that I'm talking about this morning is that it even goes beyond the Second Amendment. You look at this gas tax. Our state constitution is clear, and like you said, our lawmakers took an oath to uphold the state constitution, including the federal constitution. But they took an oath to make sure that when they pass a tax, that it is constitutional. That gas tax, that's going into schools, fish and game. I've been very clear. I'm a very active hunter and fisherman. I love the fish and game department, but people shouldn't be getting their gas taxes raided to pay for programs for fish and game because it's unconstitutional.
Well, it is, and this is another perfect example, isn't it, Ben, of what we're talking about. Clearly to me, they ignore it or could care less about it. They don't understand when they raise their right hand that we, the people, expect them to be people of integrity and to honor the oath. That's the very first thing we expect them to do. We wouldn't be having this problem and these issues if people realized that they were violating their oath. But what's worse is we, the people, haven't done anything really to start pushing back at these folks and making them be accountable.
Yeah. Jack Kimball's on the WNTK Newsline now. He's talking about the Honor Your Oath rally, which will be held. Now, this is on the steps of the State House, correct?
Well, it's right in front of the steps. It's right there. And we think the turnout will be enormous. We're going to probably try to extend it right out onto the plaza, which is the area also adjacent right to Main Street there. And so, but the actual speakers and the podium and all of that will be where we usually have it, which is at the base of the stairs. And as you face the Capitol building, it's on the left-hand side. And it's going to be from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. April 13th is a Saturday. It's time for people to get off the couch, come on out, and support our country, our Constitution, and start making some noise and let people know that we're fed up and we're not taking it anymore, and we expect them to honor their oath of office.
Jack, on the 23rd, I was at the Day of Resistance rally, right where you're talking about, in front of the State House. Number of speakers. You brought up the rear. You were the closeout guy, and the reason why I think they did that, I know if I was speaking, I wouldn't want to go on after you. You were on fire.
Well, it's funny. I get passionate. I am passionate. People know me. They know when I stand before them that I'm speaking from my heart. I'm a prior military guy, U.S. Navy veteran. A lot of veterans in the state of New Hampshire. A lot of them were there that day. And we took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And look, that oath didn't end the day we left the military. We all intend to honor that oath now. We see what's happening in this country. We're about to lose our republic. If we don't fight for it, certainly we will lose the rest of our rights. There is no more time to wait. It's all happening quickly. And I have called out everyone, including law enforcement, the sheriffs, please, and I'm asking people, sit down and have a cup of coffee with them. It's time to do it. Most people know a policeman in their town or the chiefs of their town, and certainly a lot of the people know their county sheriffs and are friendly with them. They need to have the conversation. We need to have it with our active duty friends, neighbors, family members, what have you, to remind them of the oath that they took and what it really means. They've got to protect us, the folks, and the Constitution. You don't take an oath to protect the president. You don't take an oath to protect the government because, quite frankly, that's not what this country was founded upon. It was founded on this great document, the Constitution, and it's a great foundation. It's worked so darn well for us, and so it's emotional for me. I mean, I see what's happening, and I speak to it.
Yeah, no, and for the listeners who are out there, I'm telling you, you got to go just to hear Jack speak because he's so fiery. It's like, it's like you're listening to him and you just feel like jumping up. It's like, this is awesome. You're so fiery. It's great. And the one thing I would like to put out there is make sure that the honor your oath is beyond the Second Amendment. Like I said, these taxes that they are pushing in this state go well beyond the Constitution. And we need to bring that up, too, and make sure that they honor the complete oath, which is the whole Constitution. All the laws they pass should be focused on the Constitution.
I agree with that completely, Ben. And we just saw something pretty astounding just yesterday, day before yesterday, with Rand Paul and the filibuster. Yep. And then finally, we see somebody stand up there and fight for the Constitution, in this case, the Fifth Amendment, but still, it was a fight directed at the Constitution and upholding it. And I am very proud of the fact that he did that, and the other senators that supported him. This is so refreshing, and it is what we're talking about. And to see it happen, it really gave me some hope. I felt really, really good about that.
Yeah, Jack, the only thing I'm going to leave you with, and this is a personal issue, and so when you give your speech, and you always, I've seen you a couple times now speak, you always talk about talk radio and how great it is, and I absolutely agree with you, but do me a favor, us little guys out here that ain't making hundreds of millions of dollars to do our radio shows,
hey, we'll throw you a bone.
Talk me up, man, come on.
I don't do that intentionally, and you know that. I can't list everybody. But I got to tell you, talk radio, and you know this is true, is a huge part of pushing back against that tide, and it is so critical in our country to keeping us informed. And you're doing the same thing. I applaud you for it. Keep that up. It's so important, and your listeners need to realize that it isn't always pleasant because I'm sure you get a lot of what I get, and people are shooting at, not literally, by the way.
No, on email.
Be careful with that, but figuratively, they're coming at you, and but you've got to stay strong, and you got to keep the word going out to the people, and that's what you folks do, and it is appreciated, and that's why I said what I said. I don't think that the appreciation and the warm and fuzzies are felt too often by you folks, and so I just did it that day.
Jack, I will see you on April 13th at the State House.
Thank you very much, and if you don't mind, mention it a couple more times in the coming weeks. It will help us a lot. And by the way, one last comment. Sure. A lot of people will say to me, even people who are conservatives and friends of mine, Jack, geez, I don't know that I can get up and get out to something like that because I don't want to be on a video or I don't want to be on a list. Listen, I know I'm on somebody's list. There's no way on God's green earth that's an excuse anymore. If you're afraid to come out and stand tall for your country and the republic, and if you're afraid to come out because you think you're going to be on film or someone's list, we've already lost. Yep. It is time right now to make some noise and let Washington, the nation, this is all going to be on YouTube. We'll get it out there, and it's time to take a stand.
Jack, the majority of Americans feel that we are correct when we talk about honoring the Constitution. I mean, let's look at it this way. On a federal level, the Congress's approval rating is less than 20%. So I'm going to say that 80% of Americans are with us. And we need to make that known that, hey, I'm in the majority here. Leave me alone. Jack, I'll see you on the 13th of April.
Thanks so much, Ben. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thanks, man. See ya.